people of the world. Matthew back with you here in Overall Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Shovel Knight. So, last time, we completed the last two of the side challenges, the Hall of Champions and the Frigid Flight, which means all that's stuff to do now is make our way to where we've been wanting to get Shovel Knight this entire time. A one-way ticket to the Tower of Fate. So, the Tower of Fate, as you can see, is a two-part challenge. So, we have the entrance, then we have the tower itself. So, let's make our way to the entrance right now. Go to the start. Ready? And as you can see, not surprisingly, since it is the Tower of Fate, the last place in the game, it perhaps should not come as much of a surprise that it is raining. So, let's hopefully dampen the spirits of the Enchantress. And watch out for any enemies that are trying to get the jump on you, like that mole there. Yeah, now, here's where a speed element has to come into play. Gotta make this transition very fast, and at the end you have to avoid the jumping enemies, and then get to that platform before it disappears. Not easy to do at all. You really have to be quick on the draw with that move. And series of moves for that matter, if you want to be continuing on. So now here we just bide our time and wait for the helicopter rats to come my way. And then we'll just use my shovel to knock them off their platforms. Now watch for these platforms. The one that the skeleton is standing on, for example, will fall, so be careful about that. Also be watching out for... Whoops, crap, couldn't quite pull it off. I almost made it, but not quite. What I should be using is the propeller blade. I have it out right now. So I should make it a point to use it, in case things get hairy. Because that's what it's designed for, to get you out of tricky situations where you don't necessarily have a platform close by. And thankfully for me, these platforms respawn every time. And I can see the skeleton just can't wait for me. So, let's send him off into the abyss. Now we gotta deal with 5 of the propeller rats. Now here's something I don't understand, perhaps people can explain it to me who've already played this. One of the game's challenges is to complete the game without ever obtaining any of the relics that Chester has available for sale. Here's what I don't understand though. If that is one of the accomplishments, how are you supposed to then cross this gap without using propeller blade? I would really like to know, because I don't know if that's actually possible to accomplish that. But now, as you can see, we have the return of the Griffin from Primore Keep, but he's sporting a new look. And to make things even harder, we have the boiling pots of molten metal. But to make life a little easier for ourselves, we can just chuck a whole bunch of fireballs at the Griffin, and we can damage him that way. But watch out for the bomb, because that's a little tricky surprise that he leaves for you right at the end. He leaves you with a bit of a parting gift. And then you have to deal with this freak of nature that we crossed paths with in the Plague Knight stage. And they just bring out everything here. Just like in Mega Man game, they will make sure that you revisit every type of enemy you could possibly encounter in the game here at the Tower of Fate. Can I get there? Not quite. Let's see. I think the mobile gear can get me over. Yes, it can. And I get rewarded for it with the Streets of Rage 2 chicken. Onward we go. And we reach our first checkpoint. But if you thought that part was hard, it's gonna get worse, because now we got to try and outrun this platform before it crushes me! And then we have to deal with enemies that are jumping up and down. And here you want to bide your time, because of course, that's gonna go low, that platform on the right is gonna go low enough to kill you. So, wait for it to return, and make your move. Now I have to wait for this one to come down. Oops! Went a little too far. Well, thankfully I don't have to go far. Thankfully I don't have to go very far for this, for having to do this again. So yeah, that was a bit of a tricky spot. Nice. Let the platform come back up. I'm gonna make my move. Yeah, I should have pulled out the flare wand quicker. Just so that I did not get myself into too much trouble. Now for this section, we're gonna use the bubble here, and then speed element. We gotta break these blocks in order to ensure that we don't get crushed by bats. Now over here, now we gotta make another speed element. Make it just in time, and now we gotta deal with the tight, narrow area. But here's where it gets tough, because you need to move fast in order to get this sheet of music. Then you have to transition back, jump, because if you don't jump, then you cannot make that transition, and then you got a speed element to get safely through that. Yeah, this is probably the hardest part of the Tower of Fate entrance. But once you get past that, the rest is not all that bad, to be quite honest. You have to deal with these knights, though, that are jumping up and down. 2 of them, to be exact. So, I think I'm gonna leave these 2 alone. And now we move on to our next area. Oops, gotta be careful. Yeah, I don't want to damage the checkpoints, I don't want to break that. Apparently this is a checkpoint you can break, but I don't want to lose it. Because, yeah, that'd be a terrible loss of time if I did. Now I just want to wait for that lid to go down. We get the boost up, and onward we go. Oh, look out! Oh. Yeah, they're just coming in like speed demons. But I got this guy. Yeah, suddenly they're pulling out samurai. Yeah, like, this isn't Japan. What's going on? This ain't feudal Japan. Alright, transition over. And on we go. Now, in this instance, I really would recommend using the fire wand. Well, we'll use it to get rid of this guy first. Then we use it to knock that guy off his perch and finish him off. Alright, here we go. Let it drop. You already have to time that one, or else you're not going to be high enough to ensure your safety. And no problem. Oh, wait, yeah, there we go. I just wanted to make sure I was safe first before I did that. Sure, you can come and try and get me. Just beware that it will cost you your life. Flare wand, ooh, wasn't quite fast enough. Now, I want to make this transition here with the propeller blade. Then go back to the fire wand, or flare wand rather. And then transition over here, and we got everything. So now, let's just keep going back the way we came. Oh, you're gonna try and get fancy, huh? Well, unfortunately, you weren't fancy enough. Now I know what you're thinking. How are we gonna get this pink jewel? Well, we have to first use the propeller blade to get ourselves over there. Now, don't bother going to try and make a transition up there because it's not worth it. Because there'll be 2 platters over on either side behind those knights, and they both contain bombs, and you don't want bombs. You don't want to deal with something that will automatically explode in your face. Alright, let's move on. Now, like the Spectre Knight stage, we have a transition area that goes to dark. Ho-ho! There we go! Nice. I'll take it. Now, special thing about this fishing spot right here, you cast a rod into this fishing hole, you actually get a sheet of music instead of treasure. Which is just fine, I don't mind. Now this area, you pretty much want to speed through because it's not all that worth it to try and take on all the enemies. Just let them suicide themselves because as you can see, these guys have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Let's see if I can get this guy. Aha! Now, a bit of information about what we're going to be seeing next. notice where the rain is hitting the floor and where it's not hitting the floor? Well, we drop down here. Yeah, trip floor. Yeah, think you can fool me? No way. I'm gonna get you clear, just so that I'm not dealing with you. Ah! Yeah, that is something I wish the game was a little bit better on, is that when you swing your shovel, that you actually have forward momentum when you use it, so if you're pushing hard to the right. Let's break that wall down, take these gems, and continue. So yeah, there aren't many enemies in this area, so you don't have to worry all that much. And Streets of Rage Chicken! Nice! And now we gotta deal with this guy. Now, like before, you notice that some of the rain is hitting platforms and some isn't. Now, that's because there are trick platforms here, and you gotta know where to stand. But we have made it. And so, let's hit the checkpoint because it's time for our boss of this stage. And for the third time in the game, we're gonna have to confront Black Knight. Shovel Knight, stop your meddling and turn back now. This is your last chance. I will reach her, Black Knight, even if I have to go through you. And look who shows up again, the Enchantress. And yeah, her question is quite puzzling here. Black Knight, are you guarding my tower? Have you finally decided to join us? You may kneel and pledge your loyalty now. For the last time, I answer to no one. So yeah, as it turns out, Black Knight was trying to accomplish the same thing as Shovel Knight. However, he's more of an anti-hero, and so because of that, we are seeing this answer coming from Black Knight to the Enchantress. Very well, here's a tiny taste of the power you spurned. And so, she throws a whole bunch of fireballs at Black Knight, and then disappears. Black Knight! I want you to stay away. And yeah, if the flashing is any indication, it's suffices to say that the power that the Enchantress gave Black Knight was definitely quite the enhancement. So now we have to fight Black Knight for the third time. Yeah, as you can see, he has the phasing ability. Let's see if we can't trap him in the corner. Now, this fight with Black Knight, a lot of things are the same, but there are also some huge differences. Like the fact that he can turn into a hawk. Like, who does he think he is? Nineveh's from Black Knight, from White Knight Chronicles? Yeah, I think he's delusional, but then he shoots a whole bunch of fiery meteors! And if you touch said meteors, you take damage. Cannot... Oh, look out! Yeah, this is really a hard transition area. Just because of what you have to deal with Black Knight. And the fact that he phases through sometimes doesn't help. We're gonna go ahead and use an I-Core of Renewal, just because I can. But yeah, if you can position yourself perfectly, you'll be just fine. Yeah, and sometimes he will use the meteors for the purposes of shattering. And here he's gonna go with the Fiery Meteor Storm again. Yeah. In practice, I actually beat Black Knight without having to use an I-Core. But hey, LP curse at its best, right? Haha, I gotcha! And you couldn't stop me with that. And he goes Birdie again. Well then, Birdie, let me pay you a visit. Ah, crap. Oh, nice. But you're down to one hit. And you put yourself in a really bad way because if I can reach you... Boom, you're dead. That's 3 strikes, Black Knight. You're out. And so he brings himself finally back up to his feet. This has gone on far enough. Whatever you're trying to do, you can't reach her. You may be right. She may already be lost. But I can't let go of hope. By now, you see who I'm trying to save. I do. Do you know a way to bring her back? I haven't tried anything beyond words. Her magic is so powerful, I didn't have the courage. Go, just don't hurt her, or you'll have to answer to me. Yeah, it seems like Shield Knight was in the middle of a love triangle between herself, Shovel Knight, and Black Knight. So, as we successfully have cleared the entrance of the Tower of Fate, let's go back over to the village, because we have more music to give to the bard. So, back to where all is happy and joyful again, because the bard is excited that we have another 2 music sheets for him, including The Fateful Return. And then we'll make our way over here, because we want to make it a point to try and take the shortcut this time. Usually I don't do this, but why not? It's worth it. Because the reason I'm coming back here is to be able to do one thing. Here at the armory, I have not yet caught all my armor upgrades. So, since I have enough gold to get them all, I might as well take them all. I'll take what's left, so that Shovel Knight has a full set. Of course, I want them to be in silver, because that's my preference. Besides, from this point on, we really won't need gold. So the only thing I want to do now is go back to the village, or rather the Trouble Pond, to get myself another Ichor renewal. And so, we'll take another Ichor renewal. Thank you, Trouble King. And get over your own mithril problem, please. Anyway, with that taken care of, the first part of the Tower of Fate is completed. Next, we're going to take on the Fate. Yeah, how strange that everything's been going so well, and now at the end I'm screwing up. Well, next time we're going to take on the Tower of Fate proper. That's what I wanted to say. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Shovel Knight. And when I join you again, we will begin our ascent up the Tower of Fate in the hopes that we will defeat the Enchantress once and for all. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew and Navora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.